Welcome to the Deep Dive, your essential shortcut to understanding the most complex stories shaping our world. Today is December 5, 2025, and we are diving into a massive news cycle. We're looking at sources that expose the fragility of our entire digital world. But first, a quick message for all of you listening. Welcome to the El Salvador SV News Podcast, a space for conversation and reflection where we explore current topics from El Salvador and the world together. You can support this project via PayPal. You'll also find details in the description of this content, or by purchasing digital content of products you might like. Check out what interests you and make a purchase. With that, you help and support us to continue providing content. You'll find all the methods in the content description. Find US on your favorite platform, on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio. We're on almost all platforms as Noticias El Salvador SV. All right, thank you for that. Our mission today is to really connect the dots. We've got a near global internet collapse, huge power plays in Hollywood, and some really critical updates coming out of El Salvador. How does it all link together?
What's so fascinating today is just how exposed our reliance on centralized systems has become. I mean, all on the same day. You have one company's failure affecting a quarter of the internet, a massive media merger.
Right.
It's all about vulnerability. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's start with where it gets really interesting. A major global interruption today from Cloudfare. And Cloudfare is, it's basically the plumbing for a huge chunk of the internet.
A huge chunk. And this outage took down massive sites. We're talking Zoom, LinkedIn.
And this is the second time in, 3 weeks? What on earth happened?
Well, the sources are all pointing to an internal systems failure. It wasn't an attack. It was a change they made to their HTTP body analysis logic.
Okay, wait. You've got to break that down for us. What is that?
It's basically how they scan the data packets traveling across their network for security threats. They were trying to strengthen security against a specific vulnerability in something called React server components.
So they were trying to plug a hole.
Exactly. They were trying to fix something, but the fix itself is what broke everything. An error in that new logic just overloaded their systems.
Unbelievable. And it affected, 28% of all global HTTP traffic?
For about 25 minutes, yes, which is an eternity in digital time.
I was reading Richard Ford, the CTO, Integrity 360, and he confirmed it. A database change that just went wrong.
And that's the bigger picture here. Ford's comments really highlight this huge systemic risk we have, this monoculture risk. We rely on a tiny handful of providers: Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google.
And Cloudflare.
Yeah. And we've seen all of them have major issues recently. As Ford said, we're putting more and more eggs in fewer baskets.
It really does make the internet feel a lot more fragile than you'd like to think.
It is.
Okay, shifting gears completely now. From digital infrastructure to a massive power grab in media, Netflix.
This is just monumental, a complete redefinition of the streaming wars. Netflix is acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery WBD for $82.7 billion.
$82.7 billion.
And it's not just a simple acquisition. They're strategically dismantling a rival.
So what are they actually getting? What's the prize here?
They're taking the studio and the streaming side. So that's Warner Bros. Studios, HBO Max. Think about the franchises. They get Game of Thrones, they get the whole Harry Potter universe, the DC Comics catalog. It's a treasure trove of intellectual property.
So what happens to the rest of it, like CNN and TNT?
That's the interesting part. All those cable channels, CNN, TNT, TBS, they're being split off into a new company called Discovery Global.
So Netflix is just shedding the legacy assets.
Precisely. They're focusing purely on the high-value streaming and studio IP. But a deal this big, it's already raising red flags.
Regulators, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Antitrust bodies in the United States and in Europe are looking at this very, very closely. The concern is that it creates this one dominant force which could kill competition, raise prices for you, and squeeze out smaller creators.
We'll definitely be watching that one. Let's do a quick scan of some political flashpoints. The Jeffrey Epstein case saw some movement.
It did. The Democrats of the House Committee of Oversight in the United States Congress released some previously unseen photos and videos of Epstein's private island. It just keeps the spotlight on all those influential figures in his network. People like Prince Andrew, Glenn Dubin, Bill Richardson.
And speaking of the United States, we also heard some pretty strong rhetoric on border security.
Yes. Former President Donald Trump stated he'd carry out ground attacks against cartels in any country, he said, not just Venezuela.
And that immediately caused a reaction in Congress.
A very quick reaction. A new resolution popped up seeking to prevent Trump from starting a war with Venezuela without getting authorization from Congress first. It's that classic tension between executive and legislative power.
And one last international note before we hit crypto. Tesla, it looks like they're cutting prices in Europe.
That's right, it's a sign demand is cooling off. To boost sales in Germany, for example, they've launched a cheaper Model 3 standard. They basically stripped out some of the premium components. The price dropped from around 45,970 euros down to 37,970. It's a clear shift in strategy.
Right. Volume over margin. Okay, let's transition to the digital currency front. For anyone following Bitcoin, today was not great.
It was turbulent, for sure. After hitting a really strong weekly high of $94,200, it hit a wall and plunged. Right now, it's trading at around $89,247. So that's a drop of, nearly 4% in just 24 hours.
That is a sharp reversal. So what was the trigger? What caused that steep drop?
The core of it seems to be what analysts are calling institutional anxiety.
The big money getting stared again?
Exactly. It was fueled by record outflows from the spot Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock's iBit alone saw $113 million in outflows. That's a huge signal that institutional investors were pulling their capital out fast.
And when the big money pulls out like that, I imagine it creates a cascade, especially for the leveraged traders.
A brutal cascade. That fear led to aggressive deleveraging in the derivatives market. Forced selling. We saw $280 million in liquidations in 24 hours. And $200 million of that was long positions. So people betting the price would go up got wiped out, which just pushed the price down even faster past that $90,000 mark.
So a tough day for the bulls. What about the rest of the crypto market? Did the altcoins fare any better?
No, they're suffering even more. Look at Ether. It fell over 2.6%. And what's really telling is that this happened right after the highly anticipated Fusaka update.
Which should have pushed the price up, right?
You would think so. But the initial excitement was completely wiped out. It's that classic buy the rumors, sell the news scenario. The fear and greed index confirms it all. It's stuck down at 25 out of 100, deep in the fear zone.
So just a sea of red. Were there any exceptions at all? Any tokens that bucked the trend?
A couple outliers, yeah. The privacy coin Zcash, ZEC, was up about 4.7%, and TRX, the token for the Tron blockchain, also posted a gain of about 1.8%. But they were the rare exceptions.
Okay, before we dive into the national news from El Salvador, we just want to pause for a second and thank you for tuning into this analysis.
And just a reminder, you can support this deep dive and help us keep providing this content. You can collaborate or donate through PayPal or by purchasing some of our digital content.
You'll find all of those links right in the description of this content. Every single contribution really does make a difference. Okay, let's bring our focus home to El Salvador. Starting with infrastructure, we've got a real tale of two projects here.
We do. First, some very good news coming out of the port of Acajutla. They've made some incredible efficiency improvements. They went from having 25 ships waiting to dock down to just one.
25 down to one. That's a huge change.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And it translates into real money. Officials estimate it's generated about $200 million in savings. A huge win for trade.
That's fantastic. But then you have the Pacific Airport construction project, which is, well, it's the complete opposite when it comes to transparency.
It's a major governance issue. SEPA, the Port Commission, has imposed a total reservation that's basically complete secrecy for up to 7 years on everything. The contract, who the construction company is, the feasibility studies, even the details of the land purchases. It's all under lock and key.
So there's no public oversight on a major national project.
Virtually none, which definitely raises a lot of questions.
It does. Let's move to something more positive, though. Education is seeing some good news.
Absolutely. The rector of the University of El Salvador, the UES, announced that at least 8,000 high school graduates have been admitted in the first phase. And on top of that, the Inter-American Development Bank and Google are teaming up to offer 10,000 scholarships to boost digital talent in the country.
And there's an international partnership with Finland, right?
Yes, an educational cooperation agreement that's expected to bring modern teaching methods and standards into the public school system. A really important step.
Okay, but we also have to address some serious labor issues. Unions are reporting a lot of layoffs in the public sector.
The reports are definitely concerning. The Public Workers Union is reporting over 300 dismissals, just in the Social Security Institute, the ISS. There are also reports of several teachers being let go, and one story in particular stands out.
What's that?
A teacher who was reportedly dismissed after being threatened with a state of exception for refusing a forced transfer. She said she couldn't move because of a physical health condition.
That highlights a lot of tension right now between the government's plans and labor rights.
It certainly does.
Turning to public security, a couple of high-impact operations to mention.
That's right. First, authorities dismantled a whole network that was defrauding people with false United States work visas. And separately, a major trafficking case went to trial involving Mexicans and Ecuadorians caught with over 1,500 kilograms of cocaine.
Valued at over $38 million.
An enormous sum, so clear wins for law enforcement there.
And finally, let's round out the national news with some culture and local events. The Historic Center in San Salvador is getting ready for Christmas.
It is. They're preparing the Villa Navideña, the Christmas village. And Forbes Central America just recognized the revitalization of the area, calling it a new meeting point for the region.
And for anyone looking for something to do this weekend?
The 14th Festival of Chorizo Cojutepecano is happening in Cojutepec. And looking ahead, a big win for El Salvador. It's been chosen to host the World Bicycle Forum in 2026.
What about regionally? Any update on the election in Honduras?
The results are still trickling in, but Nasri Asfura continues to hold an advantage over Salvador Nasrallah. So the political landscape there is still taking shape.
We have covered so much ground today. Just to recap everything for you. We saw the Cloudflare outage, which really hammered home the risk of our centralized global internet. Then the massive Netflix-Warner Bros. Merger, rewriting the rules in Hollywood.
We analyzed the very volatile Bitcoin market, hovering around $89,200, driven down by that institutional anxiety and the ETF outflows.
And then nationally, the great news from the Port of Acapulco, with those $200 million in savings.
Balanced against that serious lack of transparency around the Pacific airport and the ongoing labor disputes. It really comes back to that theme of centralization versus decentralization and progress versus governance.
We are committed to providing continuity and quality for this deep dive. If you found value in this conversation, please remember your collaboration through PayPal or purchasing our digital content, the links are in the description, is really essential.
It helps us keep going and growing. But before we go, let's leave you with one final thought to mull over. Considering the incredible fragility and cost of the global centralized infrastructure that the Cloudflare failure exposed, how does the push for decentralized systems, like Bitcoin, offer a genuine path to greater security and reliability for nations like El Salvador?
An essential question for the future. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep talk.
We'll catch you next time. Goodbye.